My name is Corina and I'm a growth coach who helps female entrepreneurs really be audacious in their pursuit of their success. Roughly 2 years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this leap of faith and take a risk on myself. I've always felt like I had something big to give. I just didn't really know what it looked like, and I didn't know where to start, but I started with having the belief in myself and slowly build this belief that I really did have something special within me, and God really did want me to utilize my unique gifts and talents for a bigger purpose, way beyond myself. So I didn't really understand what I was doing, but the very first thing that I did understand was I needed to have belief in myself, and I needed to have total trust in God that He was going to help me create this purpose and help me walk through that, what He had already laid out. I have really found that I've been successful primarily because I've been surrounded and supported and encouraged by women alongside, like, the entire way. That's really the biggest appeal and draw of the More Than Me movement, is really having women come alongside one another and cheer each other on, and know that when another woman is successful, it does not take away from your own success. It only makes you that much more successful. You really can't be successful by yourself, not if you want to do amazing things. And it's so beautiful to watch women create space for one another and share resources, share ideas, share encouragement, and share into the struggle, because if we rise each other up, this world will get changed. And our next generation will be impacted, and we create this ripple effect of empowerment, positivity, and growth. Most of all, decide that you're freaking worth it. You're worth living a life that is exciting and kind of scary because you don't know what you're doing a lot of the time, and kind of messy because you're trying to roll with the punches of motherhood and showing up in a professional way. But having a life of impact and utilizing your unique gifts. You don't need to be me. You can just be yourself and tap into the gifts that God has given you. That life is so rich in fulfillment, and it opens doors for you that you normally would never open for yourself. So decide to tap into that. Decide to tap into your own purpose, your own self-worth. I was really introduced to More Than Me through one of the first events, and I was blown away at the inspiring stories that women told just about their lives, just about the things that they had experienced, the things that they had overcome. Being authentic and transparent about yourself shows people that it's okay for them to be authentic and transparent, and they start to believe that their story is also beautiful and unique, and they start accepting themselves more. They start to become inspired by their own story, and before you know it, there's this ripple effect of accepting one another, of cheering one another on, and finding value in the experiences that we've had. So ever since that first event, I knew that I had to be a part of this, where I invited even more women to accept their story and to even say, you have an incredible story. To you, it might seem like just your life, but what I see in you is incredibly inspiring and moving. So that's really at the heart of what is happening here, is this desire to say what you've experienced, who you are, is incredible. Oh my gosh, when women embrace their story, there's this, even if their story is painful, there's this power shift where they are no longer victimized or put down or discouraged by their life experiences. Instead, they start to see themselves as survivors, as persevering, as empowered, and they walk away, and I think they start to posture themselves in their life a little lighter, a little bit more free to start pursuing their true purpose, almost untethered, but not forgetting their story, but utilizing their story in a way to where it's empowering them instead of holding them back. And you literally you see this shift in women's eyes where they start to feel validated, and they start to feel affirmed, and they start to feel like they are free to move forward and start pursuing the things that have been on their heart, and that God may be laying in front of them. But before, when you really don't understand the true power of what you've experienced, the true power of your story, if you don't put it into perspective and don't utilize it for a positive purpose, it can hold you back. So I've seen women be unchained and really ferocious about pursuing more opportunities in the future because they're not being held back by their story. Instead, they're using it to allow them to open opportunities for them moving forward. To me, more than me is about more than me. It's more than my success. It's more than my gifts. It's creating space for you to also see your gifts and to collaborate on making both of our dreams happen. Of course, I have wild ambitions, but let's be honest, my wild ambitions are not going to be as fun and not as fulfilling if I'm the only one rising. So to me, more than me is a collective rising. It's women saying, heck yes. Like, heck yes to your dream and heck yes to my dream. We can do this together. We can be wildly successful together, and we're powerful as a whole. We're way more powerful as a whole than we are separated. I think the very essence and foundation of More Than Me is to be inclusive, and I think a lot of women are quick to dismiss themselves or disqualify themselves because they're insecure or because they have fears and live in lies and want to compare one another or compare themselves to the women that they're watching. And I think the very premise of More Than Me is such a genuine, open space. There's really no opportunity to dismiss yourself or disqualify yourself when the platform is so inviting, and there's no pre-qualification. It's really up to you to stop living in this comparison, joy-stealing lie that dismisses you from doing great things with women. It's really, when More Than Me is so inviting and so sincerely inclusive by nature, that there's no room for exclusivity. There's no room for comparison. There's no room for tearing yourself down, especially when women are sincerely opening themselves up and sharing their genuine stories with you. I guarantee that your insecurities will be diminished when you see someone fully embrace their insecurities and be shameless about sharing with you all of themselves and all of their struggle or all of their rise to success.